you know what, I'm gonna continue with this challenging myself kind of thing. So pardon the accumulation of short videos, because I'm challenging myself to not edit things, to just accommodate whatever appears in front of me, to be as present as I could be, and to actually wait, that looks magical. Just a second. I'll take this plant, and I never noticed this before. I'm not sure if it's gonna be visible in the camera, but look at this. Like, it's not very visible, I think. Look at, yeah, now it's visible. Look at that. Look at that. That's just so intricate. It looks very like it's planned or something. It's more visible when the sunlight shines on it. You really see the patterns, now I see the problem. Now I see our problem, because I'm trying to reduce the volume of my voice to, I don't know, 70%, because I'm not sure if I can be heard outside, and everyone is present in the house, and I'm not sure if someone is sleeping. So I guess that's where our problem is. My ideas are not flowing because I'm reducing my voice. So yeah, I would like I can just exist, right? I can just exist. I think this is one also of my favorite corners of our friendship. We can just exist, just sit and exist. I'm fidgeting. I notice I'm doing this under the table. This. Not sure what it's for. Maybe it's for emotional regulation, or trying to, I don't know what it's for. Why do people fidget? Why? I need to Google search this, because I'm not nervous. Maybe I was nervous. Maybe it was residue of the reactions I have earlier with seeing myself in this ensemble, if you may. What I originally would like to talk to you about was this film that I saw this morning. as I have said in the previous video, it's called Green Book. And I think it's one of those forms of art that has found me again at the right time. Because there is a character there that he's a musician, and like what people say, I'm not sure how to word this without being offensive, because I noticed that a lot of that this is a tricky thing to speak about, but I would say how they speak about it in the movies. So he was, because this is based in real life, this movie. So, and the person has passed away already, so I guess the proper verb to use is was. So he was a person of color, and the story revolves around these two main characters. I think, yeah, they are sharing the spotlight in this movie. The one is the musician, and the one is the guy who works as his chauffeur. And this guy, the musician guy, I saw how discriminated and treated, like, and how badly he was treated in some, like, scenes because of the reality of the time that he is living in. And there was a scene there where there is a confrontation, a big confrontation between the two characters regarding the color of their skin. Because the chauffeur guy, Tony, I'll talk in terms of the name, let's say. Tony is the chauffeur guy, and the guy, the musician guy, oh no, I think I forgot his name. Did I just forget his name? Maybe it will come back to me later. So because I forgot his name, because the chauffeur guy always calls him Doc. He always calls him Doc. So Doc and Tony had this big argument somewhere in the movie. It's not very far on the it's relatively far through the movie, but it's not very near the end either. And this is like the clash of ideas regarding the skin color, because Tony here argued that he is more black than Doc because he lives in the neighborhood in the Bronx. I think that's where he lives. He lives in the Bronx. He knows the hustle. He's basically the one with the lower social status, I would say. And Doc here lives in a castle, performs for rich white people, and so they are arguing about this, because I forgot the root of this argument. What I remember was Doc's reaction to it. He's like, yes, I live in the castle, but I'm alone. And I'm black, but I'm not that black because of the way I'm living that life. This is not the proper script, by the way. This is just the way I recorded. And I play for rich white people and live their lifestyle, but I'm not white either. So what am I? Who am I? Like, he doesn't know where he belongs. Basically, that's the conflict of his like inner, yeah. And in a way, I feel like I relate to his character, because you see my skin. It's not very brown and it's not very white either. And I have been in Europe for, I think, almost 7 years now. And I have socialized and lived with people who are on different, like, walks of life. Let's just put it that way. I have socialized with different people. I have been exposed to different ideas, and I'm the kind of person who gets deeply affected by these things: ideas, emotions, people, perspectives, situations, moments. I get deeply affected by these things. So when I'm with a Filipino gathering, let's just say, when I'm with a Filipino gathering, I sometimes have this feeling of being an outcast. Because I have things I want to speak about, but there are certain corners of the culture that kind of stops me from speaking about them. And when I'm in the more international group, there are also things that I want to speak about, and I have tried, as I have told you, with my closest friend, which I'm not sure if we're still friends. I have tried with my closest friend to speak about things that I want to speak about, the experience, the feeling of being in a situation, and she doesn't have enough experience for her to actually grasp or understand how I felt when something had happened that I think I will not react to it as deeply, or as, like, I think I won't have the same intensity of reaction if I'm not in a compromised position because of my nationality. Yeah. And that's another thing that is not very easy to speak about again, because that's just another reality in this world, that there are privileges that comes with what label you have on your passport, and there are certain struggles that also come with it. And I have seen, I guess, yeah, I am not sure how to word it properly. I have experienced the life that the destination, I have experienced the destination of the life that I am building still, and I'm, as you may have seen, I'm still at the not bottom of the mountain, but like somewhere not very on the, maybe halfway. I'm halfway on my mountain, and I have experienced these things, and it kind of sometimes causes some, it definitely caused some questions. And this situation that I found myself in also, I guess, put a lot of pressure for me to ask myself these questions in the first place, like to have a very this situation forced me to really find out or explore ideas so that I would have a grasp of who I am. It forced me to find out what I believe in, what I value, where I want my life to go, what kind of, how I want to exist, how I want to be seen. What matters, what really matters, because I think that's the most important thing, what really matters, to find out at least a good hold or grip on what really matters. Because I think you're familiar with this quote that if you don't know who you are, the world will tell you. And being exposed to both Eastern culture and Western culture kind of is sometimes challenging. It's sometimes challenging for me to find like a stable ground to stand on, because I'm always constantly adjusting. And this requires strength, I believe. This requires a lot of strength. And sometimes I feel like I'm not very strong. As you can see, I'm not a final product. I will never be a final product. And yeah, I guess that's why I relate to Doc's character. This conflict of, if I'm not this, if I cannot be considered this, or if I cannot be considered 100% like this, who am I really? Who am I really? And I think I feel like I am no one really. I'm no one. Sometimes I feel so detached from my flesh that the only thing that's keeping me together is my name. I feel like I'm at this point of my life, I feel like I'm just ideas. I feel like I'm just ideas that is constantly growing and changing into something else, despite like what I said, I am never gonna be a final product. I believe this thing, this physical representation, it's really one tricky thing to put one word. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a one word, the answer to who am I kind of thing. Because if I would really ask myself, who am I? Who am I would say, let me think. It's not very easy to give it some kind of solid word, because I'm constantly changing. And but I find myself through moments, or how I deal with circumstances, or the people that I meet, I find myself through these fragments of life. I sometimes don't really feel the need to put words on what I am or who I am. You can see it here. I'm at look at me. You can actually see a clear evidence of it right now. I cannot even qualify as 100% woman or 100% man. Look, I can pass as both. So I just realized it's actually a privilege to find myself in this situation. It just means that I'm alive. It just means that I'm alive. It means that I'm alive. Well, I think we finally came to a nice journey here, despite the rocky beginning. I think we got somewhere. I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch this back or talk about something else, but cheers.